Good morning. My name is Nathan Sorensen, and I am the Strategic IT Procurement Officer for the Midwestern Higher Education Compact. Joining me today is Eric Kirkland, Director of Desktop and Classroom Technology for Eastern Michigan University. We are pleased to announce our contract with Arrow for VMware software. Today's overview includes a brief introduction to our organization, the Midwestern Higher Education Compact, and its contracting authority. We will visit our Technologies Committee, their processes, and how we arrived at this contract with Arrow. In addition, we will include some highlights of the MHEC Arrow VMware Master Price Agreement and some examples on how to take advantage of this new opportunity. But first, to help you understand our contracting authority and why MHEC is involved with these contracts, it is best to have a better understanding about our organization. We are an interstate compact charged with advancing Midwestern higher education through interstate cooperation and resource sharing. The Midwestern Higher Education Compact is one of 4 regional compacts in the United States, and each have their own niche for addressing issues and advocating for higher education. Often referred to as MHEC, our niche was rooted in cost savings programs created by and supported by stakeholders from the 12 Midwestern states. The compact is governed by a 60 board member called the Commission, made up of governors, designees, legislative and higher education leaders, and also is a resource for student access, essentially trying to help students get into and matriculate through college, as well as a source in policy, where we attempt to help decision makers, governors, legislators, and higher education leaders in our member states make more informed decisions and provide them with information. MHEC has agreements in place to extend our technology's cost savings programs to our sister compacts, the Southern Regional Education Board, SREB, and to the Western Interstate Commission for Higher Education, MHECİ. We have no agreement with the New England Board of Higher Education, and as the map shows, there are 3 states not covered by any of these compacts: New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. What is a compact? It is really a contract amongst the states. This legislation that was passed in each of the states makes us an instrumentality of state government in 12 member states. Similarly, the other compacts have been statutorily created. What makes the compact unique to the higher education community is its broad contracting authority created in each of its member states. The compact is not a group purchasing organization. The compact is a means for stakeholders in the 12 member states to collaborate on identifying regional issues and committing resources to leverage a solution through the compact's statutory authority. We are very selective in the types of contracts that we pursue. We try to identify those areas that we can bring value in, and as a result will be something that an individual institution may not be able to replicate on its own. But because we are working together across state lines, regionally, and now nationally, we can bring value that wouldn't have otherwise been there. All of the committee members are volunteers who are experts in their respective areas of interest, like Eric Kirkland from Eastern Michigan University, who joins us here today. Eric, thank you for joining us. Can you share with us how you got involved as a volunteer and what other work groups you have been part of, as well as how MHEC has benefited your institution?
Yeah, my opportunity to become involved with MHEC arose when I was asked to fill in at a contract review meeting for a contract that my institution had purchased on. I began attending the annual meeting soon afterwards. I was really impressed by the caliber of the people in the room and their commitment to finding technology solutions for member institutions in the region. I felt compelled to participate and contribute, and have since worked on RFP work groups for security scanning and audits, web conferencing, and its virtualization and related services. I'm also currently chairing an RFP work group for statistical software and participating as a member of an additional RFP work group. My institution has purchased software and hardware on MEC contracts. The first benefit that always comes to mind is cost savings. But additionally, since these contracts have all been competitively bid through the RFP process, it simplifies and speeds up the buying process for us at the institutional level.
Thank you, Eric, for your contribution in MEC's technologies activities. We appreciate and value your leadership. And as you described, public entities have an alternative provided by the compact instead of conducting an RFP or utilizing a contract vehicle more suitable for an executive branch of government. The compact statutory authority is focused on higher education needs. This slide represents all these statutes and is available on the mech.org website and our e-commerce site for our technologies program called mechtech.org. So to give you an example, MEC is like the Department of Administration for the state of Minnesota. But instead of being just like the Department of Administration for one state, we are a department of 12. To take the example a step further, a compact really sits somewhere between the federal government and the state government in that the member states of the compact have actually ceded some of their sovereignty and autonomy to this entity called the compact, for the small purpose of which they were developed. This allows the compact the authority in that particular area. In our case, it's basically to further higher education in our region. So it's not like we can go out and tax people or anything like that. But it's a very defined area where the states have basically said, we are going to work together, and so doing, establish this compact to help us further our mission. Our technology's cost savings program, in essence, is an attempt to leverage the volume of our 12 member states and the compacts we are extending the contracts to. MEC's technology initiatives are guided by our Technologies Committee, which is made up of Midwestern CIOs, technical experts, and IT procurement professionals for the purpose of furthering education opportunities and services in the region. MEC's Technologies Committee's charge is to leverage the combined volume of as many of the campuses in our member states as possible by negotiating favorable agreements with technology vendors. The committee was established in 1999 by our governing board in response to the increased use of technology by higher education. The committee seeks to promote the innovative use of technology to address unique higher education needs, develop strategic programs to provide access to technology hardware, software, and services, advocate the interest of higher education in the development of new products and services, while expanding information exchange opportunities with members. To do this, we identify, develop, and leverage the leadership abilities of our membership. Annually, the MEC Technologies Committee meets to identify priorities for the year. I will turn it over to Eric now, who can share with you more about this process.
Thank you, Nathan. In the spring of 2012, virtualization software and services was identified as a main concern for many campuses at our Technologies Committee meeting. We formed a subcommittee of 5 people to work through the summer, developing an RFP to address the technology, training, and professional service needs around server and desktop virtualization solutions. The RFP was published in the fall, and the committee received 4 responses. Finalists were brought in for face-to-face meetings in December. The outcome of this competitively sourced RFP was the selection of Arrow Electronics, offering VMware as the solution. Arrow demonstrated to the committee not only favorable pricing, but an understanding of the value of working with the compact to market and make this offering available to member institutions. Virtualization was a top issue for us, and our goal was to negotiate a favorable agreement for our campuses. We believe this contract has accomplished that.
Thank you, Eric. And as an outcome, the Midwestern Higher Education Compact negotiated a master price agreement with Arrow Electronics. This master price agreement is offering VMware licenses and support, VMware consulting, and VMware training. The master price agreement allows institutions to negotiate their own large orders with Arrow. The master price agreement contains terms and conditions for the transaction, as well as an end-user license agreement that has been modified for higher ed's benefit. While all of our contracts are negotiated on behalf of higher education, when the opportunity presents itself, the compact negotiates to extend the contracts to K-12, cities, state, and local governments, which may include different price schedules. For our Arrow VMware contract, we have two price schedules, one for academic and one for government pricing. From those price lists, there is a discount associated. The agreement offers pre-negotiated discounts on licensing, training, hybrid cloud services, support, including renewals, and consulting services. Here is the discount schedule by product category for all VMware SKUs. As I mentioned, we have a modified end-user license agreement minimizing additional requests for changes. However, additional changes are needed. An institution always has the ability to add an addendum to our contract. The number of authorized resellers for VMware. Here's the current list of resellers, and more are to come. When requesting a quote from one of these resellers, please reference the MHEC contract number. We do have some resources available for you regarding all of our contracts, and they are located on our MHECTech website, which features a couple of easy ways you may access our contracts. When accessing the site, mhectech.org, you may go directly to the category, for example, computer hardware, software, printers, or you may go directly to the contract section. It is also important to note that we insert recent news about contracts, RFPs, as well as upcoming regional and national events. Please also visit the section on getting the most value from MHEC contracts to receive some valuable tips on purchasing products and services using this contract vehicle. So for our Arrow VMware contract, you would select the software toolbar, which would take you to the software landing page. This is where you can access the Arrow contract. Under the software category, you can click on the specific Arrow Electronics VMware page. On the page, you will note some of the contract highlights, as well as the contract terms and Arrow contact information. At the right are clickable links for contract eligibility, which takes me to the Arrow Electronics website with specific MHEC-tailored info. The Arrow website will provide visitors with additional contact information for obtaining a VMware quote. In the upper right-hand corner, we have contracts where you will find the ability to download contracts and their amendments and or addendums. Plus, the specific link to state statutes for the MHEC region are visible on the right-hand side of the page. Please don't hesitate to contact MHEC staff. You will see my contact information, Nathan, We've also included our legal counsel should you have any questions for Rob as well. Thank you very much, and thank you, Eric, for participating in this webinar, and we hope this information is useful.